Hello, students. Welcome back. So, today we are going to read a new lesson from your English literature book, that is Language for Life. So, dear students, we are going to read lesson number 4 today. And the name of this lesson is, as you can see it on your screens, a new name. Yes, you heard me right. The name of the lesson is a new name. Dear students, this lesson is an extract from a very famous Asian historic novel, When My Name Was Kyoko. I repeat it, this lesson is an extract from a very famous Asian historic novel, When My Name Was Kyoko. My dear students, extract means a small portion, or you can say in simple language, a part of some book. Okay, so the lesson we are reading today, a new name, is just an extraction from this novel, When My Name Was Kyoko. The image you see on your computer, laptop, or cell phone screens is the original cover of that very famous novel. Yes, this brown image with the beautiful flower on it is the original cover picture of that novel. It is authored or written by Linda Sue Park. Dear students, you can even call her as Linde Sue Park. Yes, both the pronunciations to her name are correct. Linde Sue Park is a Korean American writer who has authored several novels and picture books for young adults and children. Most of her work is based upon Korean history and culture. Park's work achieved prominence when she received the prestigious 2002 Newbery Medal for her novel A Single Shard. Park is best known for her historical fiction. With the exception of three picture books and two novels, all of Linda's work are centered upon Korean history and Korean culture. The story is set in Korea during World War II, when Japan conquered Korea and was trying to destroy Korean culture. Koreans suffered oppression when Japan ruled their country from 1910 to 1945. The novel is based on the historical experiences of the author's Korean parents. The story's title comes from the Japanese law forcing Koreans to take Japanese names. The title signifies how the main character once had to change the name from Korean to Japanese. It also shows how the Koreans were controlled by the Japanese officers. This is the story of a 10-year-old Korean girl, Kim Sun Hee, and her brother, Kim Tae Ul. I repeat it, this is the story of a 10-year-old Korean girl, Kim Sun Hee, and her brother, Kim Tae Ul. It is the year 1940 and the Japanese have taken over Korea. The Korean people are very unhappy. They do not have the freedom to learn their history, follow their culture, or speak their language. Suddenly, there comes a new law. All Koreans are to take Japanese names. The children's father knows that the law must be obeyed, or else his family could face strict punishment. So he helps them choose Japanese name that reflect their Korean's root. Now, Sunhee must learn to accept her new name. This story, A New Name, is told through the different perspectives of Sunhee and her brother Tae-ul. They, along with all Korean citizens, are forced to adopt new names in Japanese to reflect the new law put out by the Japanese government. Sunhee's family chooses the last name of Kaniyama for the family because, when translated, it means a county in South Korea. For their first names, each family member picks a random letter in the Japanese alphabet. That will be the first letter of their name. Sunhee chose the letter K, and so their names became Kaniyama Kyoko and her brothers Keniyama Nobio as he chose the letter N. As the story progresses, we see that how Sunhee's time in school with her friend Tomo, as you can see on your screens, interests in Japanese. My dear students, you not only can learn Korean history and culture, but also can understand the value of freedom through reading this excellent story, A New Name. The actions of Sunhee and the other Kim family members reflect their courage and love during Japan's attempt to eradicate Korean freedom, culture, language, and lastly, the saddest, their own identity means their names. The Japanese rulers have tried to wipe out Korean culture by requiring schools to teach Japanese. We see that a change in name affects Sunhee deeply. As you can see it on your screens, she feels torn between who she is and who she is expected to be. Dear students, we see that how a beautiful Korean girl, Kim Sun Hee, changes to a sad Japanese Kaneyama Kyoko. Even after seeing such hard times, Sunhee turned Kyoko learns Japanese language. She learns to be positive and happy at school. She learns new things with her best friend Tomo at school. So, my dear students, we see in this beautifully written story by Linde Soo Park that how a Korean girl, even in the times of war in Korea attacked by Japanese, learns to live. The moral of the story is it is important to stand up for what we believe in, and courage is something that is needed to achieve our dreams.